So sometimes we can have problems with sensors in Arduino and MATLAB that will disconnect or raise particular errors, and that would typically crash the code or get it to exit, and then you would have to restart the measurement in a really inadequate kind of way. And some of you have seen this in previous instances of running this particular lab. What we're going to do today is we're going to show you how to deal with these errors using try-catch blocks. And these are done using a similar function that we see in a Java course that we'll be taking later on. And one of our TAs, Alistair, recommended using these, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so in the experiment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up disconnecting the sensor like this midway through an experiment. All right, and what we're going to do is, let's actually run it like this, and you'll see in MATLAB that it will warm up the sensor as normal. Okay, so the little part of the sensor that actually detects CO2 or CO2 equivalents right there. It's going to warm up, and then once it starts reading, I'm going to simulate an error or approximate the error that you're seeing, maybe with CRC errors or something else like that. I'm going to disconnect it. So I'm going to do this, and so it's starting to read from the sensor. I'm going to disconnect, and then we get an error. It's trying to reset. I'm going to plug it back in. It will, after about 10 seconds, reconnect to the sensor. There we go, it's reconnected, and it's reading again. And it's going to do this a few more times, and then it will try and plot the result. While this is happening, we're inserting not a number results into the measurement so that we know that this was a section of the measurements that didn't work out properly. Okay, so we can see the resulting readings here. Most of them at 400. There's one at 407. There's one at 413. Then there's a bunch of not a numbers right in here. And then there's readings of 400 after that. Okay, and you can see that the average is 401. Now, how did this work? How did the code get rewritten in order to make this happen? Okay, initially I closed and cleared all the variables. I then called up the Arduino device in MATLAB. I set the maximum number of samples to 30 with a 1 second period between samples. And then from there, what I'm doing is I'm setting a 10-second period or section of time in which I will wait for the board to come back to life. Okay, and I'll show you how that's happening here. So I initialize the board, warm it up, and then Alice's suggestion here was to try and put a try and catch block right here. So I've got a while loop that will continue until the sampling is all done. I'm not using a for loop in this case because I'm changing the iterations in a slightly different way than normal. I have my pauses that occur at the beginning of the top of the while loop. Then I have a try and then a catch. What this does is it tries to run this function right here. And if that try is unsuccessful, it will dump itself into the catch portion of this. It's like an if else statement. It will dump itself over here and then run the error code. If it works, then it will display the success, and then it will skip that clear or the catch part, go here, iterate the sample number, and start again, trying to run the data sample and then over and over again. If an error is generated after line 33 or during line 33, then it will generate an error. It will catch it here. I will insert a not a number sensor result, tell the user that there was an error, and then here I'll run a for loop for, I think it's 10 periods, where I will increase the sample number, insert a not a number, and then pause. Once that's done, I will clear the object and reinitialize this sensor object. I'm not restarting the Arduino board, although I could do that if the error really dictated for that, and if you might need to do that if you see that that's the case. But otherwise, I'm just clearing the SGP30 object from the code, the driver code that Eric Prandovsky had written. And then what I'm doing here is I'm reinitializing it. I'm creating a new sensor object named the same, and then it tries to run the data sample again. So this is a good way of catching errors without crashing the code and restarting the sensor, and this might work for you if you're seeing errors with your sensor captures.